Okay, now let's see if it stays. It is staying. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is a slightly different format video. I think we're still in focus. I think. I've been pretty unmotivated at home, and I've been thinking, what can I do? So I think it's time to double down on YouTube, and if this is the go, then I don't mind. I've got a room full of gear here, which is so messy that I'm not going to show off the office setup at the moment, but maybe that'll be coming. Maybe, but probably not. Okay, so I do have a little bit of behind the scenes footage to show off, and this is of a recent 2-day shoot up, actually, southwest in New South Wales, in a small little town of Narrandera, where we were filming on location at one of the schools that we were working at. Got a little bit of behind the scenes footage of the... Did it just lose focus? Is it losing focus? I'm pretty dark. I've got a lot of behind the scenes footage, or a little bit of behind the scenes footage to show off, and this is going to be a bit of a video showing off the kit that I was using for the most part, and also a little bit of narration of the gear that I thought was invaluable on this shoot, the gear that saved our ass, and the gear that I'll definitely be considering for the next shoot, and maybe even a few thoughts of gear that would have been a improvement. If you are enjoying this video so far, let me know. Let me know how this microphone sounds. This is a lot more effort than what I would put in usually. I don't know why I'm still wearing headphones. I've just kind of realized that, but I don't know. Would it be any better if I didn't wear headphones? I'm not sure. This is the mic, by the way, that I'm using. It's the MK 600 handheld, and it's XLR straight into my inputs. Okay, let's get to this. Okay, so first item off the ranks is the battery bag, honestly. So we bought a few batteries to this one. I was a little worried about how many batteries we'd need, so I bought a ton of the A7 batteries and a couple of V-Lock batteries. We're using this CRD pouch, the large one, for crdbags.com, and super rugged. Feels like you can pack a lot of stuff in them. Great to work with. The V-mounts are these SmallRig 99 watt hour batteries. We fly a lot for the team, so these are kind of essential. And as you can see, it looks like a bit of a diaper, but I have done a bit of a botch job at taping up the batteries so that if air travel was a bit of annoyance, then they will be satisfied with the tape. Usually use gaff tape for that. And this is the A7 batteries that are all tied up as well. And we bought a ton of them, but to be honest, I only actually used about 4 of them, but I didn't have a battery charger for them on the shoot, except for one single charger, so I was overcompensating as usual. Support equipment, we're doing a bit of video work on this one, so for the main camera, I'm using the mini saddle, and this actually fits in the camera bags. Now, I have to show you another video where I break down the actual camera bags. You'll see it a little later in this video, but the mini saddle fits in the entire main camera bag. So brought it along for the shoot, and it worked very, very well for stabilizing. I was actually using it for the B cam for the most of the time because we had the A cam on the tripod, but great nonetheless. Love that I could travel with it. The A cam is the Sony FX6, and we have 3 of them in our kit, but we only had 1 of them on this shoot because the other was out for another shoot. Now, we did a little bit of audio for this one, and I find that the audio interface running straight into the FX6 is really nice for what we do. Really, we're using a couple of different channels, and you can record up to 4 channels with this FX6, so worked out really well. And we're mostly using the Rode Wireless Go microphones, which I'll show you a little later on. And yeah, they connect really well. Into the XLRs, you just use your little adapter and you can connect them straight into the XLR ports and manage the audio right there. But this is all we really used. We didn't use the shotgun mic almost at all for this whole shoot, except for the B-roll. And yeah, for that, it's pretty much run and gun. Bit of Cine saddle, bit of tripod. So we used two A7S Mark IIIs for this one. Now, I actually use these predominantly for stills, and they're a 12 megapixel camera, JPEG and RAW, and I found that they were sufficient for the video and for the photo need. Have a SmallRig cage around them, which is just really nice handheld, feeling like they're very protected. And these are my own from home. We used the Peak Design, I don't know, removable, hot removable, like quick release straps. I don't know what they're called, but I have two of them. I have a whole lot of them at home, so I just attached them to our work cameras and used them. Predominantly for the shoot, I was using the Sony G Master 50mm 1.2 lenses, and I was using it as a wide lens for one of the cameras, and then for the tighter shots I was using the Sony G Master 70-200 f2.8. Now, when I wasn't running B-roll on the FX6, I also used the 24-70 that was on that as the wide angle lens, and I also had a 20mm lens that I was bopping about with as well for some obscure angles. But between these four lenses, I'm pretty much spoilt for coverage, really. I had an assistant on the day and he was able to swap the lenses for me if I needed to, but worked well. Love those G Masters, man. That 70-200 is my favorite. And the 50 is really nice as well. But okay, so for the lighting, we did use a light. So this is the Godox something 200 watt. I don't know what the name is. We're about to see. This is the great reveal. We're all about to find out at the same time. What is it called? Is it VL200, the Godox. Now, I like this light. This is my personal light from home, and recently we did a comparison on the shoot with the NAND lights, and the NAND light was a little bit green. I didn't know why. We have a couple of NAND lights, but the one that I was testing was green. So I used this VL200, and it's about 100 watts smaller than the other one as far as output goes, so I just copped that. I'll show you how I set it up as well. We synced all the audio with just a single slate, just a clapperboard, and we just made sure whenever we were multicamming what we were recording that we just slated at the start, and then in editing I'll just match it all up later on. We don't really run time codes for our team, but slating seems fine. Now this is the audio setup we have. So on the left in that pouch is my personal kit of Rode wireless microphones. I don't know, it's the very first version. We also have these Rode Wireless Pros, or the Go-2s. I think it says Go-2. Anyway, whatever they are, they're the dual channel wireless interfaces, and we used most of those just for classroom audio. We were initially going to mic up the teacher, but we needed to be able to monitor the audio individually, so we went for ambience with those ones. And then we plugged into channel 1 my kit of Rode Wireless Goes with the simple lapel, and that way we can monitor the audio all independently, and it worked out really well. The audio is nice and clean. This Rode Wireless kit I've had for probably 5 years, and it's been killing it. So this is how we set it up, really. You can see the two A7s with the 50mm and the 70-200 on the Cine saddle. When we were recording multicam, we were using the FX6 with the 70-200, 24-70, and we were using the A7, one of the A7s with the 70-200, and we slated, and then we just record a wide shot and a close-up of whatever action we were supposed to be recording. And they'll dice it up later on. Here is the inputs of the Rode Wireless Goes. Now don't be confused, we did not use a shotgun mic, but everything is actually clipped to the cable of that shotgun mic. There's a bit of a close-up of how the A7 looks with the Cine saddle, and it works pretty well. I wouldn't have minded a monitor for it, but I was also using it for stills, so it was really nice to be able to switch straight from video to photos in like 1 second. It was invaluable.
and there's a 50mm on that A7. Audio-Technica headphones, you can see the SmallRig 99 watt hour V-mount battery and a Miller tripod, really nice fluid head on that. This is the Godox setup. Now this is before we actually did some cable management, so don't shoot me on that, but I do like how it's pretty easy to set up and doesn't really make any noise. It's kind of nice. And our pretty much lighting setup is to just get that cone on, shoot it straight into the roof, and cast down a light source right on the room, and then I'll just compensate in camera with ISO or aperture if it needs to be brighter. I like to shoot nice and shallow, so we're compensating with shutter speed as well for the photos, and for video, well, anyway, pretty stable lighting in the room, so nothing to complain about. Here's a little bit of a breakdown of the kit. Again, this is just it on the table, but you will get a chance to see the bag that I'm traveling with. That's the FX6, A7 I and A7 II with the lenses. You can see the Peak Design straps. This is how I transported it. So Cine saddle, great. Matthew's tripod, my friend bought that in his car. This is how we packed the light away for air travel. Really nice. A couple of accessories goes in there, but that's a light bag. And then this is the big bag for the cameras. And as you can see, this is how we kind of set up in a school. Just bags everywhere. Bags and bags and bags.
And that was it. I'm really struggling with this autofocus with this thing, and you can probably hear my neighbors jumping around on the trampoline now. These motherfuckers. That's about it with this video, and I'm just going to dice this up and put a little overlay on top of it, and we'll see. But if you do like this video and you like a little bit more of a in-depth breakdown into things, I think I'm going to start doing some item breakdowns, and we'll see. Not trying to put a whole lot of effort into these YouTube videos, but you do deserve it.
My mental violence will shower, devour at a crazy rate.